Never in my whole life did I ever imagine that we would be even having this conversation with someone from Oman that heard my songs and was inspired by it. So, but a song like Mount Hira is so special to me. It's like the same as Praise to the Prophet ﷺ or Mountains of Mecca.
Son.
But it's a song that I wrote whilst I was there, at the cave of Hira. The same moon, the same stars, gaze right down at Rasulullah. They saw him climb down from Hira. Now a prophet of Allah. And in the sky was Angel Jibreel. He said, "O Muhammad, O Rasulullah."
You wrote a song about Mubin.
Yes, yes. Because he, like me, was the only son. And when I visited his mom, when he passed away, she kept on telling me that she just missed his smile. And then I wrote the song for her, which was I Remember Your Smile. And the song was always such comfort for people who've lost loved ones, because it's interesting when you lose a loved one, you always remember them in the happiest of times. So I wrote that song, I Remember Your Smile. Where there's a right, there is no wrong. I always thought we were so strong, but our time just flew right by. There wasn't a chance to say goodbye. I'm so confused, I feel all alone. Deep in my heart I know Allah has called you home. But yet your smile still lingers in my mind. And yet it's so hard, I just break down and cry. I remember your eyes, find a way to melt my heart. Most of all, I remember your smile. I ask Allah to bless all the ones we've
May
lost
Allah.
and grant them the
Amin.
highest levels of
Amin.
Jannah, inshallah, and also reunite us in the best of places.
I have noticed in some of your songs a very inspiring way of contemplating through the creation of God. When one would listen to them, he or she would want to witness those moments that you've described. I mean, for example, the song that you have just sung, Mount Hera, it isn't just about a moon. It's the moon, that gazed on Prophet Muhammad, and Prophet Muhammad is looking at the same moon that we're looking at right now, and I think this is a very good time. We have a full moon right now for our followers to please go out and look at that moon. That was the same moon that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ have seen.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely, and I think it's part of that contemplation that we have, because if you think about it, and I think about this quite often, especially living in Cape Town, there's so much natural beauty. And I often think about it, everybody flocks to those places, Cape Point or Table Mountain or to the ocean, and they're all looking at this. Even people who don't believe in God, if you think about it, they're all going there looking at it. So what differentiates us as people who give all credit to Allah? We have to say, Subhanallah, we have to look at it and say, no, this was not created in vain. This was all created for a purpose. This is all from Allah and us as well. And then you think about all the mountains and how they will be folded up like cardboard, and subhanallah, that Allah creates, and Allah, it will all return to Allah. So that's the only thing that we can take from our experiences, but take it back to Tawheed, because otherwise we may make the same mistake as the one who doesn't believe in God. We're just looking at something and admiring it, but without making that connection to the Creator.
Zammuluni is an amazing love story between the Prophet ﷺ and Sayyidah Khadija. And I think that particular song helped a lot of husbands and wives to reconcile and go back to the footsteps of the Prophet ﷺ and his love to Khadija.
He stepped inside his home, he was overwhelmed with fear. An angel came with words from God, things were still unclear. saying read, read, but he could not read. Amazing words that he heard, a trembling deep inside his heart, confused by what had occurred. There was only one who could comfort him, to help him see the light, to ease his fears, to reassure, was Khadija, his wife. He said, Zammiluni, Zammiluni, Dathiruni, Dathiruni, a mighty task has come before me. I need you here with me, by my side, by my side, by my side. Walking back from Arafah, and one of our companions, it was our neighbor. He was our imam of our group, and his wife, who's my mom's age, so she was like my second mom, and she turned to me, and I grew up in front of her. She said, "Doesn't the mountains look so magnificent?" And that sparked an idea in my mind.
SubhanAllah.
So
And
nice.
then when we completed our Hajj, we were staying in Mecca, but we didn't have views of the Kaaba, but we had this most amazing views of the mountains, because that was before all the construction took place. And I kept on looking at the mountains. I said, well, if these mountains could speak, what would they say to us, Oh, mountains of Mecca, what can you say of the day that Abraham passed your way, and he was instructed by God to build a house of peace where people will pray, and they will come on every lean camel and out of every ravine for the purpose of praising Allah, to glorify Allah. There's so many distractions. There's so many things that will take us away from Allah. And especially in today's life, you can be distracted for a very, very long time, especially with young kids on their phones or screens or whatever the case may be. So just remember that the ultimate reality that we tend to forget is that we will leave this world, and the infinity depends on what we do here. So it's a lesson I tell myself every day, that do your best, make the best of every moment, and be the best that you can be for the akhirah, because that's really the life to live for, inshallah. When you feel all alone in this world, and there's nobody to count your tears, just remember, no matter where you are, Allah knows, Allah knows. When you're carrying a monster load, and you wonder how far you can go, with every step on that road that you take, Allah knows, Allah knows. No matter what, inside or out, there's one thing of which there's no doubt. Allah knows, Allah knows. And whatever lies in the heavens and the earth, every star in this whole universe, Allah knows, Allah knows. When you lose someone close to your heart, see your whole world fall apart, and you try to go on, but it seems so hard. Allah knows, Allah knows. You see, we all have a path to choose. Through the valleys and hills we go, with the ups and the downs, never fret, never frown. Allah knows, Allah knows. No matter what, inside or out, there's one thing of which there's no doubt. Allah knows, Allah knows. And whatever lies in the heavens and the earth, every star in this whole universe, Allah knows, Allah knows. Jazakallah khair once again.
Jazakallah
Assalamu
khair.
alaikum wa
Jazakallah khair.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum
Waalaikumsalam
salam. Wa
warahmatullahi
alaikum
wabarakatuh.
salam. Shukran.